I may not remember everything, but I completely forgot about that trip I took with Peter and my husband. Oh man. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Raphael and I'm here to review episode 8 of The Real Housewives kicking everybody out of their vacation house of Potomac. So we start the episode off right where we left off between Mia versus Wendy. Mia had just came back from gossiping with Peter's Center Peach Thomas, and she was trying to use that same gossip against Wendy and try to get a moment out of her. Instead, her plan backfired and she got embarrassed because her and Wendy get into an argument. Wendy, she's running circles around her. Mia, she couldn't handle it, so what did she do? She resorted to grabbing a drink and throwing it in Wendy's face. That didn't work, so what did she do next? She grabbed her purse and swung it at Wendy and she tried to get physical with her. Wendy, of course, she's trying to defend herself, but at the end of the whole argument, Mia's the one that ended up crying in the car and saying that she's the victim and her nails are broken and all this and all that. And the green-eyed clowns, they're defending her as well. And I'm like, okay, obviously we're seeing two different things, but okay, so Mia, she's in the car talking to her husband, Gordon, and she was like, no, Gordon, no, like, can you please give me, like, a flight back to Potomac as soon as possible? Like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, Wendy, she just attacked me right now for no reason. She keeps talking about my family and Peter, Center Peach Thomas, and I'm just not doing this anymore. So then Karen, she gets up and she goes over to look over at Mia and see what's going on. So she tells Mia, Mia, what's going on, Mia? What's going on? Your nails are broken? Your nails are broken. Oh my, that is terrible. No, I don't like that. What do you mean you're going back to Potomac? You're leaving? No, but it's still my birthday. No, I want you to stay. No, don't go anywhere. It's still my birthday. Mia, she's upset with Karen all of a sudden. And I'm like, why are you upset with her? She goes on to tell Karen, Karen, I just cannot believe that you will take Wendy's side in this whole issue. Like, you clearly saw that she was talking about my husband and my family, and I would never do that to you, yet you're defending her? I just cannot believe that. So then Karen, she was just like, no, Mia, both you and Wendy are both wrong in this situation, and I'm not taking sides. I'm gonna be friends with both of you, and I'm gonna say mutual. Now, I don't understand Karen's stance with that, because how are you gonna place Wendy in the same category as Mia and say that both of them are mutually wrong in this situation when Wendy didn't even do anything? I mean, if you really wanna nitpick what she did wrong, the only thing I can see is that Wendy should not have brought up the rumor of, you and your husband Gordon supposedly, allegedly sleep around with women and men. Other than that, what else did she do that was so wrong in this situation, Karen? Mia, she has a list of things that she did wrong in this whole entire scenario, yet you want to group her and Wendy in the same category. So Karen, I get it that you want to play mutual with everybody, but you're going to have to open up your eyes to what's right and what's wrong. And Mia was clearly in the wrong in this whole entire situation, yet you don't want to call her out on it because you want to be friends with both of them. And I get that, but at the same time, Karen, a true friend wouldn't be scared to tell another friend, hey, I see what you're doing, I see what you're saying, and I don't think it's right, I think you're wrong, and this is why. So the whole straddling the fence and being mutual thing, Karen, yeah, it's not going to cut it anymore. You're going to have to stop placing blame on Wendy when she didn't do anything but defend herself in this whole situation that Mia started herself. So she's not having any of the blame that she's trying to place on her. So she tells her, you know what? I'm going back inside to celebrate my birthday. So she goes back to the table. And did y'all see how happy Giselle looked just sitting there? As soon as everything between Wendy and Mia settled down, Giselle, she was probably thinking, yes, we finally got a good juicy scene. I can't wait till they show this in the season 7 trailer. And the audience, they're going to go crazy and they're going to drag me and Robin on Twitter again. I can't wait. I mean, she was just so excited. She was so happy that they produced a good scene. She was getting cocktails, dessert. She was talking. She was just so happy, all while what? Her hands were squeaky clean. And speaking of hands being squeaky clean, I was looking around the table and I'm like, wait a minute. We're missing a housewife. Peter, where's Peter? I mean, technically, he was the reason why this whole situation between Wendy and Mia happened in the first place because he opened up his mouth to the wrong person, aka Mia. So where is he to take the blame for all of this? On top of that, you're the manager of this whole entire restaurant, and your guest, Mia, she's throwing around drinks, your cups and everything. She's swinging purses. Where's the manager? Where's the security? Where's the customer service? You know, he was probably somewhere in the kitchen in front of a mirror practicing his tagline for next season. If they make him a full-time housewife, he was probably thinking, okay, I'm probably going to be in the middle of Giselle and Karen, so let me practice. Okay, how do they hold the champagne flute? Okay, what should be my tagline? Let me incorporate it with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on, this is your chance. You always wanted this. You always wanted this. Just because I'm gone from Atlanta doesn't mean I can't give you more. Wendy had also walked away from the table and now she's outside telling the producers that she also wants to go back home. Actually, she goes outside to check on her and I'm thinking, Part of me wants to think, oh, look at Ashley being a good friend. She wants, her to have a shoulder to cry on. But then the other part of me is thinking, I don't know, Ashley, you already fooled me once this season, thinking that you and Candace were going to be a thing and we're going to be best friends. And what did you do at the burn session? You betrayed her. So I don't know. The second that Wendy even mentions Michael or says good morning the wrong way, I know that you're eventually going to flip on her and betray her as well. So I'm not sure. But for now, I'm keeping a close eye watch. Eventually, everybody back at the table, they're like, okay, let's run out on the bill before Peter notices. Or at least that would have been me. I would have been like, well, I mean, we ate at his restaurant. We promoted his show. So the food should be free. So bye, Peter. They all get into one truck, well, two trucks. In one truck, we have Robin and Giselle, Mia and Jacqueline. And the other one, we have Charisse, Karen, and Wendy and Ashley. I believe that's it, right? Yeah. And Charisse... Charisse, this is reason what? Hold on, because I've been keeping track. This is reason 152 that you shouldn't be on the show. As she's trying to get into the truck, she almost pulled her back, trying to get into the back seat. I'm like, what is going on, Charisse? Charisse, like, okay, so they get into the car. Karen, she starts telling Wendy about everything that happened between her and Mia. Wendy's just like, wait, what? She wants you, she's upset with you. Why? Karen, she's trying to explain it. She was like, well, I mean, I don't know why either, Wendy. I mean, I'm not going to change my stripes for anybody. I'm friends with you and I'm friends with Mia. And that's how it's going to be. In the other truck, we have Mia. Mia, she's in her feelings. They're all telling Mia, especially Robin, I believe. I think it was Robin. Robin was just like, oh, well, I feel like Karen, she should have de-escalated this whole entire fight. And I'm like, de-escalated? Karen? Just because what? Her seating placement was right in the middle of both of them, she should have stopped the fight? Like, she's not a referee. She's not a security guard. If they were to reach right in front of her, what is she going to do? Try to get in between? What if she gets snatched herself? Like, absolutely not. What kind of common sense is that? Well, what kind of no common sense is that, Robin? If anything, Jacqueline, Mia's best friend, was the one that should have intervened or should have tried to stop it or should have tried to break it up or whatever, since they're such besties. But now we're placing the blame on Karen. Again, it's like the whole Monique and Candace situation all over again, because it was the same thing back then. They wanted Karen to pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. And now Karen, they're trying to find some type of blame to place on her, like when she didn't do anything either. Like, so Mia in her confessional, she goes on to say, well, I just cannot believe that Karen allowed my husband to get filleted. If it was her husband, Ray, and he was getting filleted in front of me, I would not allow that at all. But for some reason, she's just okay with betraying me and choosing Wendy over me, and I just don't accept that at all. And I'm thinking, first of all, filleted. Second of all, your husbands are not fish, filleted. And Mia, again, you were the one that brought up the conversations of husbands to begin with between you and Wendy. Wendy never mentioned your husband until you were the one that brought up her husband in the conversation. You told her, and I quote, I believe you said, you should be explaining yourself to Peter when you touch down in Miami. Whatever that means. You and your husband, I get it that you only want to, talk to him and explain yourself to him, but maybe you should change that about yourself. That's what she said to Wendy. And what did Wendy say to you? No, me and my husband, we do this. Whatever you and your husband do, that's between you and your husband. And that was that. And that triggered you. So again, I'm not understanding how this is all Wendy's fault. And on top of that, the second that you threw that drink in Wendy's face, everything after that was fair game coming from Wendy, because you don't throw a drink in somebody's face and you just expect them to be okay and keep their mouth quiet or defend themselves. So of course Wendy's going to be pissed and she's going to say something back to you. You're lucky that she only talked about your husband, but eventually they get back to the house. Wendy, she's going upstairs. She's packing up her stuff because she's ready to go. She's not going to stay in this house because she might beat a bitch's ass at 3 o'clock in the morning. So Ashley, she's also checking up on her. Everybody else, they all go downstairs. Charisse, she's filling everybody in that Wendy, she might be leaving the house. Then we have Jacqueline, and I'm just so curious to know what kind of chapstick or lipstick does she use when she's constantly kissing Mia's ass 24/7, because she goes on to say, well, Wendy, she's a commentator. She's a teacher. She's not used to people telling her no, the same way that Mia is. But Mia, she's a little different. Mia, she's a CEO. She's a boss. She's a businesswoman. She's just amazing. She's just the greatest thing on earth. She's my best friend. She's just the best housewife ever. And Mia. And I'm like, okay, Jacqueline, we get it. Let's pull it back a little bit. Like, I get it that you want to be on the show, but damn, have some pride as yourself. Like, don't always be her sidekick. If anything, the way that I see their friendship is, I see it like a ticking time bomb. Like, it's tick, 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 ticking. And the second that the time runs out, it's gonna be an ugly explosion between them. The next morning, we see everybody waking up. They're all in their bathing suits. We see Charisse and Giselle eating breakfast, followed by Ashley, who's getting a plate herself. But did y'all notice how her ass was a little too close to the breakfast? And I don't think that I want to be eating scrambled eggs with a side of ass. Or do I? But Ashley, she sits down with both of them. She proceeds to talk about everything the night before and how she does not encourage Mia's behavior. She is not a fan of violence. And then here comes sleepy Charisse. She tells Ashley, but Ashley, don't you... Ashley, don't you think that... Don't you think that what you're saying right now is very... Don't you think that what you're saying right now is very hypocritical? And I'm like, hypocritical? The real person that you should be asking that question to, Charisse, is right next to you, Giselle, and you should be asking her. Don't you feel hypocritical now that you're encouraging Mia's behavior on throwing drinks, swinging purses, when just 2 years ago you were walking around with a bodyguard because you couldn't stand being around Monique for doing the same thing to Candace? So Charisse, please make it make sense. Eventually Mia pops up and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought she had an 8 a.m. flight to catch. What happened? You know that production probably pulled her to the side and they're like, look, Mia, if you leave this cast trip early, you're gonna miss out on like 10 episodes because we're gonna try to extend this 3-day weekend as many episodes as possible. So what do you wanna do? And you're also gonna be missing out on pay. And you're probably gonna be a friend of. So what do you wanna do? So Mia was probably like, okay, I'll stay. So then Karen, she joins the group. It's her birthday. They're like, oh, it's Karen's birthday. Woo, celebration. Woo. Robin, she also joins in. Robin is like, where's Candace? Candace, she's in the house. And I'm like, oh, okay. We didn't see her, her intro or her, grand entrance or anything, but she's in the bathroom. She's getting her makeup on. And then we see a flashback of Robin filling her in on her side of the story. Not the full side of the story, but her side of the story of everything that happened the night before between Mia and Wendy. And she's showing her the footage and everything. Candace, she's in shock. She was like, what? Wendy is doing all of this? And of course, to Candace, it's going to look like Wendy started this whole thing because she only recorded what Wendy was doing, her reaction to what Mia had done in the first place. So Candace, she goes on to say that she does not agree with Mia's behavior of throwing drinks, swinging purses, doing all of this, doing all that, breaking nails and everything. And, Robin, she's just laughing it up. She's just soaking it up. She's just looking at the footage and she was just like, yeah, I so got her. I just don't understand where Robin's mentality was while filming. Like, did you really think that this was going to play out in your favor as soon as this aired on TV? Like, I forgot to mention how in her confessional, the producer asked Robin, so wait, why are you leaning more towards Mia in this whole situation? And Robin finally said what we were all thinking. It's because she does not like Wendy. So regardless of what Wendy would have done in this whole situation, she was still going to be wrong in Robin's eyes. And... oh, Robin, sigh. Eventually, they all go outside to the pool area. Mia, she's about to make this grand, thing to Karen. She was like, okay, everybody, so I have an announcement. I have a big announcement for everybody. We're all gonna do like this really fun activity today. And I'm thinking, okay, it's Miami. What are they about to do? Something fun? So then Mia, she continues on and she was like, okay, so we're gonna go to the beach and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna go to the beach and what? So she goes on to say, we're gonna go to the beach and, we're gonna have this big beach party, like a beach party thing for Karen. And I'm like, so you're basically going to the beach. Like, what do you mean a beach party? If I was Karen, I would have been like, well, you know what? Thank you, Mia. But you know what? No, thank you. It's my birthday. I'm gonna go to the club. Like, we're in Miami. I get it that everybody, comes to relax, to swim around the beach, but we're in Miami, a different state. Let's try restaurants. Let's go to a bar. Let's find somebody, but okay, she wants to have a beach party, so whatever. So eventually Candace comes out. She joins the group. Again, she's feeling a little bit like, I'm not sure if I want to be a part of this. If anything, if I was Candace, I would have called up Trina. I would have been like, hello, Trina, the baddest bitch. Yeah, I know I just saw you a second ago, but do you think that I could stay back at your house? Because I don't like the energy here. Eventually, we see Robin, Charisse, and Giselle. They're inside the pool while Karen, Ashley, and Candace, they're on the side. And, Candace and what's her name? And Ashley, they have their differences, but they're managing to put it to the side for Wendy. So Candace, she gets emotional because she was like, I can't believe. And then we see the friend of, no, not Peter, no, not Jacqueline, and no, not Charisse, the napkin. But I'm not sure what kind of napkin this is. I think this is like a transformation of the napkin because she goes on to say, I can't believe with everything that goes on with Wendy from the night before, just nobody gives a fuck that Wendy's not here. Nobody's checking up on her, and it's a lot, you know? It's just, I can't believe everything that's going on, you know? I'm like, oh, Candace. So then Ashley, she was like, yeah, let's call her up. Let's call her. So they call her Wendy. I just felt my heart broke when her voice was raspy, and they were like, what's wrong with your voice? And she went on to say, oh, I was crying the whole night. I can only imagine, you know, because she's at her own hotel right now by herself, and she was crying the whole night. Like, I can only imagine what she feels. That was really heartbreaking. And again, Mia, like you see, like, and Robin, you just, I think it's like day 8 or day 9 right now, and they're still dragging Robin on Twitter. Like, it's not going away. So Robin, I don't know what's about to happen, but Karen, she goes on to tell Wendy, well, you know, Wendy, it is my birthday, and I want you to come to my beach party that, you know, Mia's telling me about. So, you know what, I'm going to tell Mia if you could come to my, you know, beach party anyway. And I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. So then Karen, she gets up, she goes back inside to talk to Mia, who's getting her nail done by this nail lady. Karen, she was just like, so, Mia, do you think that Wendy, you know, being it's my birthday, do you think that she could come to my beach party? You know, I just want her to be around me because, you know, we're all celebrating my birthday. Mia, she was like, I mean, I'm not really okay with that, but like, I mean, I guess whatever, like, it's your birthday, so, I mean, why not? And, I mean, even though I get what Karen was trying to do, and I would love to see Wendy join the group, I do not think that that's the best idea because, you know, the tension is still extremely high. Everything is still hot from less than 24 hours ago. This literally just happened the night before, and now you want to bring Wendy back into the circle with Mia? I don't think that's I mean, it'll be good for ratings and good for the footage or whatever Karen's trying to do if she's trying to produce a scene. But realistically, I would keep both of them apart. So then Karen, she was like, okay, fine, whatever. So she goes back outside and she was like, so what are we going to do now? So then Daphne and Velma, they're like, how about we just, you know, we gang up together and we just go visit Wendy while everybody else goes to the beach. Why did she say that? Because as soon as Mia caught wind of that outside, it was, eventually, they're all like, okay, let's go to the beach. Let's go to this party. Let's go to this beach party, right? AKA just lay around on the sand. Again, Mia made it sound like something much more grand. Candace, she's disappointed in Robin, that Robin will even, you know, be okay with Mia's behavior, this, that, and the third. And I don't think, have we ever had like a rivalry between Robin and Candace? I don't think that they ever bumped heads. So that's interesting to see, especially from the previews next week. Oh, Robin just continues digging that hole deeper and deeper, like Robin. So then they go back inside, right? I believe they go to take a shot, and Robin is in the kitchen. She's taking a lime or something to, you know, drink out of. And then Candace, she whispers something, and she was like, oh, only little bitches take limes. And I'm like, ooh. Robin, I think she's talking about you. So Robin was like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about me? Like, are you trying to address me? Like, what's going on? So Candace, I wish that Candace would have just said, yeah, I think that you're being a bitch and that's that. But Candace was just like, I mean, I was kind of talking about you, but not really. So eventually they get this whole beach thing on the go, right? Well, at least half of them do, because Mia, she's clueless that the rest of the group is going to go visit Wendy. So her, Charisse, Giselle, and is that it? And Robin, they get in one truck to go to the beach. And then I believe somebody tells Mia, oh, by the way, they're going to visit Wendy. So then Mia, she is not having that. She was like, this is my Airbnb. I pay for this on a payment plan, so I'm going to put a stop to this. She gets out the truck, right? She opens up the car door where Ashley's sitting, and then we see her, Candace, and Karen, and she tells them, everybody, put your listening ears right now. Are you listening to me? And as soon as she would have said that, I would have been like, push, let me close this damn door. Anyway, driver, can you go to Wendy's hotel? Like, who are you talking to? Oh, pay attention. Are you listening to me? No, we're not listening to you. So she continues on, and she was like, you know, okay, so Karen, you know, everybody besides Karen, like Candace, you, and Ashley, yeah, the second that we get back to this house, you're gonna have to find your own place to live because you're not gonna stay at this house. You're not gonna stay here. So you're gonna have to find somewhere else to stay. And I'm like, Mia, like, me, I'm convinced. Mia, are you related to Lisa Rinna by any chance? Like, that was crazy. I'm like, wow, she's really trying to turn this into the Bad Girls Club. Like, you don't just kick people out of the house like that, especially when they're on vacation and this is your thing. Like, let them do whatever they want. They don't have to go to your lame ass beach party thing, shit, whatever that you have going on. Ashley was way better than me because all she kept telling Mia was, really, Mia? Really? You're gonna be this petty? You're that petty? If I was Ashley, I would have put my hand in her face like, skirt! So anyway, so Candace and Karen, aren't we excited today to go see Wendy? But if anything, honestly, Mia was doing Ashley and Candace a favor by kicking them out because that way they could get their own hotel that's closer to South Beach, unlike this house that they're staying at, which is basically in a different country. It's like 100 miles away from South Beach. You need to take a plane, a boat, a sailboat, and then you're finally in South Beach. So if I was them, I would have been like, oh, you don't have to tell me twice. So then Candace, she's telling Ashley, no, just close the door. Just close the door, Ashley. And I'm just waiting for Candace because Candace, she has been very calm this entire season. But I'm just waiting for her to either blow up on, what's her name? On either Robin, Giselle, or even Mia. Or even all three. Give us a 3-for-1 combo. And Mia, you have made an enemy out of Wendy, Ashley, and Candace. Yikes. And then you're on the borderline with Karen as well. Yikes. So then Mia, she closes the door. That's that. She walks away into the other car and they're like, oh, what happened? What's going on? So Mia, she informs them that she kicked both of them out, but not Karen, because Karen at least came up to her and said, well, I want to hang out with Wendy. But I don't know. I don't know. With Mia, I feel like Mia could talk to Giselle, maybe even Robin, or just anybody on this cast, whatever way she wants. But I feel like she won't try that with Karen, or at least not that I've seen it yet. I don't know if she's that, gutsy enough to go against Karen. But regardless, everybody else, they're all at the beach. And I'm like, okay, let's at least see this beach party that Mia was hyping up. So they finally get there and I'm like, okay, they're at the beach. Where's the beach party? What's going on? Where's the balloons? Where's everything? And I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm looking around and what did Phaedra say? All I saw was dirt and grass and sticks. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this is what Mia was planning for my birthday. If I was Karen, I would have unfriended her so quickly just for ruining my birthday. Like, you're bringing me to the beach to sit on a couch, like, and that's it? With Charisse? Like, absolutely not. I'm like, oh, okay, well, so much for Miami and this trip being like, fun or whatever. So back at the restaurant, we see Wendy. Wendy shows up. She's in all Versace and everything. And I'm like, okay. So she hugs everybody. And then Ashley, she texts Mia and she was like, Tom, how can you do this to me? Question mark. But no, she tells Mia, oh, I'm not leaving the house. And I'm like, oh, this is like Bad Girls Club. She was like, I am not leaving the house. You're going to have to kick me out. Honestly, if I'm leaving this house, I could leave the house, but I'm not leaving it until I trash this entire house. That would have been me if I was Ashley or Candace. But she was like, it's not okay that you threaten us with, our accommodations, blah, blah, blah. So I'm still going to be sleeping in the room tonight. And I'm like, ooh. Candace, she also says the same thing. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, wow, okay. Bad Girls Club, Miami. Giselle and Robin, they find out that she had kicked both of them out the house and they're like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like what you're doing, Mia, it's a little bit too much. And I'm like, oh, so now you want to be the moral police, Giselle. Now this is too much. Kicking Candace and Ashley out the house is too much for you. The only reason why it's too much for her is because she knows that if they're not around, there's not going to be drama. There's not going to be footage for her to, be the puppet master behind Mia, because Mia, you're also just so delusional because you don't see that Robin and Giselle are just using you. And the second that they're done using you with this whole, trying to ice out either Candace or Wendy specifically, and they're done using you and they dispose of you, your marriage is going to be the next one that they're coming after. So I don't know why you're so comfortable in being friends with them. But eventually Charisse, Charisse, she has no camera time, so she has to make it something about herself. And she was like, oh, give me that phone. Wait, what is this? iPhone? I'm only used to using flip phones. How do you use this? Okay. Let me just press numbers. Let me just, I don't know what I'm typing. Okay, whatever. So she sends out a text message, and the text message to Ashley is like, oh, this is Mia's assistant. And I'm like, Charisse, you really said that this is Mia's assistant? Like, you've been original on this show, and now you want to label yourself as Mia's assistant? Like, you and Jacqueline, like, come on now, like, love yourself a little bit more. So the text message says, oh yeah, this is Mia's assistant, blah, blah, blah. I just want to have a good time. Let's all have a good time. Smooches. And that's that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So then Wendy, back at the restaurant, she drops some tea. And she was like, well, you know, it's so funny that Mia, she did all of this for Peter Center Peach Thomas just for him to tell me stuff about her behind her back. And I'm like, ooh. She goes on to say that Peter, Gordon, and Mia used to go on vacation together. And I'm like, interesting. So then Peter, he had a girlfriend at the time, not Cynthia, but somebody else that Mia supposedly did wrong or did her dirty or something. And then Peter said that he was never going to mess around with Mia or Gordon ever again after that because he can't really trust her. And I'm like, Mia, you see, you're Giselle's puppet and now you're Peter's puppet. And Peter, it's just crazy to me that Peter is really on this show causing drama. So then back on the beach, or back at the beach party, or so we say, Mia, Giselle, she was just like, oh, you know, I came out of my house or whatever, out of my room, and I looked up, and I could have swore that I saw two people showering together. I could have swore that it was you, Jacqueline, and you, Mia. You know, Jacqueline got so excited, like, oh my God, they're finally talking about me. So Jacqueline, she goes on to say that, I mean, the most that me and Mia have ever done is, you know, I kissed her ex-boyfriend, and I'm like, Again, it's just like an onion with their friendship. Every episode, it just goes deeper and deeper between these two. And I don't know. Like I said, when it blows up, it's going to be pretty ugly. And Jacqueline, she is going to air out every single skeleton from Mia. So hopefully we're around to see that. So back at the restaurant, they all agreed to go back home. And I'm like, but we just left the house. Why are we going back in? We're in Miami. We're on vacation and we're going back inside? No, it's Karen's birthday. Let's do something fun. Let's go rollerblading. Let's go swimming with dolphins. Are there dolphins in Miami? I don't think so. But regardless, let's do something fun. Let's go to the Clevelander. Have y'all ever been to the Clevelander? It's on South Beach. It's really, really fun. They play good music. But again, they're going back home. And I guess, you know, vacation is different for everybody. But for me, when I go on vacation, I cannot stay inside a hotel, inside anywhere for long. Like, we're going to be there for like 5 seconds. And then after that, I call it the Lady Gaga rule. It's club, another club, plane, bus, club. Candace, she was like, oh, no. You can go back home, but I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to Trina's house. Yes, Trina, the baddest bitch. And I'm like, ooh. So Wendy was me. Wendy was like, wait, you're going to Trina's house? Can I come? I would have been like, Candace, I'm going regardless whether you say yes or no. And Candace was like, oh, you want to go? Okay, so let's go. I'm surprised that Karen and Ashley, they weren't so eager to go. Like, this is Trina, the baddest bitch, like the icon. But they were like, oh, yeah, no, we're going to go home. And that's that. And you know, it sucks for Giselle, Charisse, and everybody else that went to the beach. All they got was dusty couches. They could have had Trina, but back at the beach, we see everybody else. They start twerking, right? And Giselle, you know, for a second, I was scared for Giselle. I'm like, Giselle, stop. You're going to dislocate something in your back. I don't know what she was doing. She looked like that Bob's Burger character, the one where she twerks like that. Charisse, you know, Charisse, I'm not sure what she was doing. She was just so confused. She was like, wait, what's twerking? What is that? She was just standing from side to side. And I'm like, oh, so they're like, okay, let's take a picture.
One more thing, as Mia was twerking on Robin in her confessional, she said, oh, I'm watching Mia twerk on me and I'm looking at her ass and I don't see those lumps that she was talking about, referring to her cancer. And I'm like, wow, Robin, wow. You see, Mia, you're over here trying to be best friends with Robin and Giselle, yet Robin is over here poking fun at your situation, your medical situation, in her confessional.
And then coincidentally, a group of guys just so happened to be walking by. So they asked them, oh, can you take our picture? Can you take our picture? They're all muscular, so they all get excited, specifically Robin and Giselle. So they start touching on them and everything. And I'm like, did we ask them for any consent or any permission if you could touch them like that? And I'm looking at you, Robin, because Robin, she was way too excited. So they're like, wait, how old are you? And they're like, oh, we're 21. So Giselle, she backed up, not Robin. Robin was just like, oh, you're 21? Okay, so she starts rubbing on the guy even more. And I'm like, Robin, this is very, very, very creepy. It's already creepy enough that you told us that little, you know, fun fact about yourself last week about you showering naked and your boys are just, you know, looking at you like that, even though they're teenagers. And now you're doing this to a 21-year-old? I'm pretty sure if this was, the roles were reversed and it was a man doing this to a woman, I'm pretty sure it'll be a bigger backlash. And Robin, again, this was just creepy. Giselle, she goes on to say, oh yeah, Robin, she likes them young. She likes them young. And I'm like, Robin, again, it's just... Robin, this is just not a good season for you, is it? Candace and Wendy head over to Trina's house, and it was so surreal to see Trina on The Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, that's really her in person. I don't know how Wendy or Candace even managed to compose themselves in front of her. If I was Wendy, I would have been like, oh my God, Trina, the baddest bitch, the diamond princess. Can I get your autograph? Let's take a picture. I would have just started rapping her lyrics like, I got an ass so big like the sun. I hope you got a mile for a dick I want to run. Slap it in my... Well, you already know the rest. But I would have been fangirling like crazy. Like, that is Trina, but Trina looks so beautiful. I always loved her smile and her laugh. And I love that her and Candace, they were matching in the same purple. And again, it was just Trina. I'm like, wow, like Andy, Bravo, somebody hire her to be the host of the reunion. But then again, I don't know about that because I don't want her to be biased towards Candace because, you know, they're kind of like friends now, or at least business partners or whatever, or at least on the same song. So I don't know about that. Or at least maybe feature her in the reunion. You know what? Fuck it. Make her a housewife for next season. Candace, she's there to check out the song that they got out. I believe she just dropped the song tonight, actually. So, you know, if anybody hasn't checked it out, check it out now. I believe it's on YouTube probably. But they're there, they're listening to the song. It's called Insecure. And, you know, the song was okay. I think I need to listen to it like fully a couple of more times to actually like, you know, get the vibe and everything. But I love that Wendy was so cute. You know, even with everything that just happened to her in the last 24 hours or less than 24 hours, she was still there to be, you know, supportive of Candace, and she kept swaying back and forth and everything. She was acting like she knew the lyrics though. I'm like, Wendy, I love you and all, but I noticed that she was just like, you're insecure. I'm like, it's okay. We all do it sometime. But they finished the song and everything. And I'm just so happy for Candace. You know, Candace, even though I could kind of see her walking away from this show eventually at some point, even next season, because it's becoming all way too much, I hope that she stays on it so that way her music career could get a little bit more exposure. Trina, she gives her some advice. She was like, you know, just stay true to yourself. Do this, do that, and all this and all that. Honestly, if I was Wendy, I would have been like, Trina, hold on. Can I ask you a favor? Can me, you, and Candace, can we just like do like a little diss track towards Mia really quickly? You know, that would have been interesting. Just drop a whole mixtape just dissing Giselle, Robin, Michael, and Mia all at once. But, you know, eventually they leave and all that, and they hug, and it was just a really cutesy scene to see between them. And then they do the little slither dance. You know, Wendy's iconic slither dance from 2 seasons ago. They're walking by and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna slither away. So back at the house, Karen gets a phone call from her husband, Ray, and he's wishing her a happy birthday. He's saying that he wishes that he could be there in Miami, but something came up, but he sent her a bunch of flowers, a cake, and that's that. So that's good enough for Karen. Besides, you know, Karen, as she said it, she's gonna be looking for her eye candy anyway. So I'm pretty sure that she doesn't really need Ray. Meanwhile, Ashley, she calls baby Dylan. That's that. Speaking of phone calls, I forgot to mention earlier in the episode, we saw Robin. Oh, Robin. Robin called up her sons, right? And she was like, oh, I noticed that you guys did not go to school. What's that about? And they're like, wait, how do you know that? She goes on to say that she called her fiance. So they're like, wait, your fiance? We thought you were single. So Robin was like, no, I'm not single. I have a fiance. Your father, Juan. So then Robin, she goes on to say that she called Juan, but he was sleeping, so he didn't pick up the phone call. So of course, he didn't drop them off at school, and she doesn't want this to become a pattern. And I'm like, oh, Robin, it's so interesting that you're so busy over here in Miami being TMZ, or as you like to call it, RMZ, and recording fights and telling Wendy, are you gonna fight or are you not? Are you gonna fight or are you not? You're so busy doing this, but you're not so busy with what's going back at home with Juan. How come you don't antagonize Juan and tell him, oh, go drop off the boys at school? How come you're not doing nothing then, huh? Where's the reporting then? Where's the phone recording then? So interesting what she worries about. But regardless, we see Mia. She's getting out the shower. She looks at Karen over the staircase, and she was like, Karen, can you like come upstairs for like a quick second? Like we need to talk about something. And I'm like, ooh, talk about something. So Karen, she was like, oh, it's no problem, Mia. I'm coming upstairs. The grand dame always makes her entrance. So she goes upstairs, and then we see Jacqueline. She's in the middle of the bed between them. And I'm like, okay, you can move now. I'm like, what's going on? So then Mia, she was like, she has something to tell you. And I'm like, what is Jacqueline? What, your Pokemon or something? Like, like I choose you, defend me. So then Jacqueline, all of a sudden she starts being her bodyguard, and she was like, Well, Karen, Queen Mia, she wants to let you know that she doesn't really like that you pick Wendy's side over her. She doesn't really like how you're moving in this whole situation. And I'm like, Jacqueline, if you don't move, if I was Karen, I would have been like, so anyways, so Mia, continue. Like Jacqueline, like she wants to be seen so badly. And that's the worst type of people to be on the show. Like when you're so desperate for camera time. At this point, I would really would have rather seen Ascala be a friend of or something. Like, at least she brought us fashions. What do you bring us? Nothing. So then Karen, she goes on to explain, well, I don't really know what you're talking about, Mia, because, I could be friends with you and I could be friends with Wendy. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about and why you're making this a big issue. Like, we were supposed to have a big party for me for my birthday and you fucked that up. So then Mia, she was like, I mean, we did have like a beach party. We had a beach party at the beach. We had a cabana. And I'm like, a cabana? And see, now I must have missed out, or maybe the editors, they edited that part out or something, because I did not see a cabana. Like, all I saw was a dusty couch and sand, and that's it. Mia goes on to say that she's upset that Karen is not choosing her side, that she's choosing on Wendy's side, basically, and she's playing defense, this, that, and the third. Karen is like, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna, choose your side or Wendy's side or whatever, because I'm friends with both of you, and I don't agree with either one of your actions. Even though, like I said earlier, Wendy didn't really do anything. She actually, was just defending herself. Mia was the one in the wrong. So Karen, I just wish that she would have been like, you know what? If you want me to pick a side, I feel like you're wrong, and that's that. Wendy didn't do anything, but of course, Karen is not gonna do that. So Mia, she continues on and she basically gives Karen an ultimatum. And she was like, well, I mean, I shouldn't be worried about your birthday party that we're going to go to later on, about this white party. I shouldn't be in charge of that at all. So then Karen, of course, she's quick with it. She was like, well, first of all, Mia, you fucked up everything. You don't have to be the host of anything. And if you want me to be out of this house, then just let me know right now, because I'm okay. I got my phone call from my husband, Ray. Oh, I love him so much. He gave me my flower, my cake, and everything, and my candle. And I'm good with that. I don't need to do anything else. And I'm like, ooh. AKA, she says she doesn't need your big ass house. Here that's like 50 miles away from South Beach, Mia. So then Mia, she was just like, in her feelings and everything. She's not having it. And Karen, she was just like, wake up, Mia, okay? Wake up. You need to wake up, because I'm not going to do this with you anymore. I'm not playing these childish games. I'm a grown woman. So she's walking away. Mia, she was just like, well, you need to walk away. You need to walk away. You need to be careful, because Wendy, she's going to turn on you and you don't know what's coming with her. And I'm like, what is Wendy going to do with Karen? Like, what is that going to do? She's not going to do anything. So I'm not sure what she was talking about. And eventually Karen walked out, and that was that. And I don't know, Mia, yikes. I mean, this is another episode that you do not look good, and neither does Robin. Robin has been getting dragged on Twitter for what? Like, this is her 9th day, I believe. And it is not stopping. And then I was thinking, okay, we got the drama last episode and we kind of calmed down this episode. Maybe next episode we're going to do something fun. And was I wrong completely? Because I saw the preview to next week, and what happens? Robin, again with the bullshit, she pulls out like a recorder or whatever, a recording, and I think that this is Candace's Instagram live from what I'm seeing on Twitter of her saying, oh, fuck these fake bitches or something like that. Robin, she has a recording of it, and then she brings out a speaker so everybody could hear it. And I'm like, Robin, like... Like, Robin is crazy this season. And to think that the first 2 episodes, I was thinking, like, Robin... we're going to get a different side from her. And we did get a different side, but it was a whole completely different side that we were not expecting. And it's just going to get messier on Karen's birthday on top of that. Like, but we shall see how this whole episode, this whole season, or this whole trip turns out. Let me know what you all thought about this whole episode down in the comments below. Bye, everybody. Mwah.